What's up everybody, it's Josh from Strong Dragon Training back again, and today we're going to do a stretching workout to complement the pull muscle workout that we've done previously. So again, before I go any further, just like with my pull workout video, I want to let you guys know that below this video I have the link to my quick or my short version of the workout. So when that one is just the stretch exercises, no description, no explanation, no nothing, just going through the stretches to give you guys an idea of what you can do. Just like with the workout, it's intended for the people who have an idea about the stretches, who know how to do the movement properly. They just maybe need a little bit of idea. Oh yeah, that exercise is good. Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. That one's good too. So it's just to give you a little bit of a guidance to know that, yeah, here's some ideas. Try and do those for your stretches. Now in this video over here, we're going to go into a little bit more detail about the explanation. I don't want to go too into depth to it, but I am going to explain the proper and the safe and the effective way to do these stretches. So as I mentioned, we're stretching all the pull muscles. So we're going to go through a bicep stretch, through a rear delt, and a lot of back stretching, of course, in the hip and the glutes, because once those things are tight, you're going to have a lot of lower back tightness and pain. So we're going to loosen up that lower back nice and well today. So without further ado, we have two segments of the stretch workouts today. One's going to be on the floor and two stretches going to do standing. So let's get through those ones. Alright, so here we go first with the standing stretches. I'm only going to get you guys through two of these ones, and these ones are kind of by far the best stretches. And for the biceps, I'm going to give you two possibilities. Now, the top one that I found over the years I've been training my clients is, and I presented this in my previous video a couple of weeks back, but if you have a pole like this or a wall or anything like that that you can support yourself against, can take a little bit of weight, what I suggest is put your hand with the fingers as pointed to the floor as possible, right? So you're pointing them down like this and up against the bar, and as you notice, I'm at shoulder level with the hand, right? So from here, I put a little bit of pressure, so I lean into it. This allows your elbow to be straight out, and now, because of the biceps connection, once you get that little bit of hyperextension in the arm, you're getting not only your forearms, yes, you're going to feel a huge stretch in your forearm as well, but now it's moving up into the bicep. From here, what I recommend is twist away. So this one now hits the bicep and a little bit of the front delt as well. Not too much in the front deltoid, but you will feel it in the area. And reason being is now, boom, I'm stretching a little bit more. And now at this point, I'm feeling my stretch in the bicep a lot, of course in the forearm as well, very minor in the front deltoid and in the pectoral, right? And that's mainly because of the twist. However, without this twist, yes, you can get a good bicep stretch, but I find that at this point, I'm stretching it with both from the forearm being twisted down and being stretched, but now also because one of the bicep tendons goes over the shoulder as well. So by twisting away, I get that nice extra little bit of stretch in the bicep, okay? So just like with any other stretch, you hold this one here for about 30 seconds to a minute, depending on the level you are at, and you just try to breathe nice and relaxed, right? All the pain that you're looking for, even now in my forearm, my bicep, I don't feel the type of pain that I just am grinding my teeth to hang on to, right? You want a nice, gentle little discomfort, so to say, right? You don't want to rip the muscles off your bones, okay? So with this one, just hold 30 to 60 seconds, and then once you're there, boom, gently relax out of it, right? The worst thing you can do with a stretch is, first of all, go into it aggressively, and then once you're there, pumping away the stretch. Never, ever, ever do that. And it's just like stretching out cold muscles, right? So this is another big pointer is before you do any kind of a stretch, your muscles need to be warm, right? So before this one, I've done a little bit of movement, I've done the workout and everything. So if you do a stretch post-workout or during workout, it's a great way, and that's static stretching to be exact. If you're looking more to dynamic stretches, and that's just moving the arms up and down or anything like that on the spot, just lifting the legs up, that's a whole different story. That's dynamic stretching, and that can be done when the body is technically cold, because you're at the same time you're warming it up. But when it comes to static stretch, like what I just did over here, you need to have your muscles warm for that, because nothing cold likes to stretch too much, okay? So be very careful about that. And also, like I mentioned, with the pumping of the stretch, never a good idea to do that because you're putting way too much tension on those tendons in a very weak or vertebral position, so to say. So what you do on one side, of course, you got to do on the other side as well. So fingers down, shoulder high grip, and then I twist away nicely from it, and I hold there 30, 60 seconds, however good your flexibility is, whatever level you're at, right? A little bit of a side note on this one. If you're trying to get the brachioradialis and go right into the brachii on the bicep, another interesting / good stretch that I found over the years is hands up front, cross them, face them, the palms facing each other, grab a hold, and from here, what you can do is pull on one side or pull on the other. The arm that is being pulled, so in this case, I am pulling my left arm, as you notice. I'm pulling in with my right and I'm bringing my left as far as possible. With this, by twisting away and moving the wrist just slightly, you will find your brachioradialis stretching at a high degree and then gently going into your biceps and your brachii as well, okay? So you have that stretch over there, you're gonna hold that for the same amount of time, you release, relax, and then you go to the opposite side. Alright, so this is just a little bit of a side note because over the years I had a lot of problems with my brachioradialis. I've had injuries after injuries on it, and then I always had the problem of, okay, this one, great, it stretches the forearms really nicely, but I never really felt that stretch in the brachioradialis. So by doing it this way, yes, I get a little bit of a forearm stretch too, but it stretches that brachioradialis at a very, very high degree. Just be mindful of your wrist not to yank it off or injure it or pull in any way, okay? The other standing exercise that we're going to do today is for the rear delt. Now, if you see my previous video with the pushing muscles, the stretch for the pushing muscles, I've done this exercise to stretch my triceps, okay, with the arms straight. The best way to hit your delts, your rear delts to be exact, and your upper back, let the arm limber and then pull it across your chest as far as possible. Now from here, ideally what I would recommend is keep the elbow at shoulder height, so adjust where the arm goes with your arm that is supporting and pulling. So in my case, the right arm is doing all the motion, and I am adjusting the angle and the level to feel that, there we go, right in there. I'm feeling my rear delt stretching nicely and a little bit in my trapezius. Now, notice that this arm is nice and limber, it's not doing anything. Don't keep it stretched because you're gonna get this tricep activated way too much into the stretch. And also, don't twist your body with it, right? There's no point and no help into this one. Your body is straight and you pull across as far as you can. Releasing on that side, again, nice and gentle, nice and slow. We're going to do the other side as well. And again, finding that sweet spot for the arm, boom, right there. Rear delt and trapezius is nicely stretched on that one. 30 to 60 seconds. Nice relaxed breaths. And once you're there, gently, gently release. And you're good for that muscle. Now let's move to the floor for your back and your hips. Alright, so here we go with the floor exercises. These ones are going to stretch your lower back, your lats, your upper back. Rear delts are going to be included into this one as well in the ways you're stretching it, and especially your glutes with the lower back and the hip flexors. Those are going to be the big aspects of how we're going to stretch today to really release and limber your lower back, your rector spinae, and everything in the back has been very well tightened in your previous workout. So the very first one is, again, I'm taking these out of yoga stretches, but again, not a yoga instructor, not going to take too much credit from them. I know from what I've seen them before and then what I've used in my kinesiology studies for stretches for the back. So one of the very good ones when it comes to limbering out the lower back, the glutes, and everything there is what they call the child's pose. So you're gonna have your hands nice and wide. Feet are going to be flat on the floor. And what you're trying to do is just stretch out, drop your hips as much as your legs allow it, as close to your heel as you can, and then head down to the floor. And just let everything pull. It's almost like at the same time you're pulling your body in so that your glutes hit as close as possible to your heels. So down you go and just hold, relax here as much as you can. We're still looking for those 30 to 60-second stretches. Nice and easy breath, and no pumping or jerking of the muscles or the tendons or ligaments or anything like that. So this is a great way to loosen out that lower back. Your lats get a kick out of this one as well. Your hips, your hip flexors, the glutes, very good stretch all around. And then you come out of it, going up into it before you reset into anything else, okay? So very, very important how you get out of a stretch, because at that point, your muscle is nicely relaxed and it's in this different position than what it's used to, because remember, your muscles are very tight, they're used to a certain tightness and a certain usual position to them, but you're putting in these huge stretches, which it feels nice at first, but for you to really jump out of them very quickly, it's something unusual for the muscle. Okay, so stretch number 2, we're going to go down on our back. Now for this one, we can either take one leg at a time or we can take both legs. Key thing on this one is to keep your back nice and flat to the floor as much as possible. So when you are pulling both legs into the chest, you're not trying to pull them off and bring your glutes off of the floor, right? You're trying to gain just the proper amount of stretch, but your back to be flat enough so that you can provide that good stretch into your lower back and to your hip flexors, right? So doing it individually, if that's the level you prefer, keep the one leg straight, grab the knee of the other one, situate your back nice and flat on the floor, and just pull this knee close to your chest. It's much easier in this position to not lift your hips off the floor because of this leg being stretched out, right? So generally I prefer this one as the safer technique. So you would pull in, boom. The quads get a little bit of stretch out of this one because of the knee being bent like this. The hamstrings get a toe as well. And remember, those ones play a big role in your hip flexors as well. So yes, when you stretch your back, it's very good if you get your upper part of your leg or your thigh into it as well. So once you're done with that one, you bring the other leg in. What you do on one side, you gotta do on the other as well. Same idea, you hold this one in for 30 to 60 seconds. Easy breath, back flat on the floor. Now what you can do with the both, if you are at that level, you need to have the control, grab both knees, keep the back flat, and just bring them in both at the same time. Me personally, I prefer this stretch over the other one because the glutes, when I pull them both like this, forcing my lower back, almost at the coccyx level of your spine, to just forcing it to be down on the floor, but at the same time, I'm pulling my knees in, I'm finding that better stretch in the lower back / the glutes area, okay? Stretch number 3 on the floor is almost the same idea, but now you're twisting your leg in. So this one hits very good on the, what muscle called the piriformis, and it's a deep glute muscle. So for that one, believe me, when that thing is tight, you'll know it. It's not a big muscle, but it makes a big deal when it's tight. So you have the knee as in as possible, grab from the ankle, and then bring the leg in as much as possible. Again, you want to keep your hips flat on the floor, your back flat, and then only pull as much as possible. If your hamstrings are tight on this one, you will feel it to a much higher degree in the hamstrings than you would in the actual glutes. So what I would recommend is, if you are able to do, because the leg, you gotta remember, there's big, huge muscles in the leg. So with your arms, it's a little bit difficult to manipulate that. But if you guys have heard of the figure 4, that's something you might want to gravitate towards when it comes to this kind of stretch. So notice how I have my leg now almost like I'm crossing my legs when I'm sitting down on the chair. I'm grabbing the opposite leg in, and now I'm just pulling this leg in. I'm trying to keep my back nice and straight again, and now I have way more force to pull this leg in and stretch right in the glutes and the piriformis where I need it to be, right? So pulling in like this, much better force. Yes, if your hamstrings are tight, you will still feel those hamstrings like screaming at you. But at this point, I'm able to take them to a little bit of the next level, not high enough to injure them, but to that level where now, yes, I'm feeling my glutes, my piriformis much, much more than previously. So I'm lying flat down, 30 seconds to 60 seconds. Breathing in nice and deep. And relaxing. Once you're done, you gently let go. And of course, you get the other side, either doing it with one or pulling the leg across and grabbing in between, boom, pulling in as far as possible with the head and the back fully flat. So very, very simple exercise from that point. Now the next one, I'm going to switch positions over here. The cat or cow stretch, and this one is great for the erector spinae in your back. Stretching them from top to bottom. So what you're going to do is you're going to be on all fours on the floor, trying to really nicely support and balance the knee with your hips. And from here, the cat stretch, you bring your upper back or thoracic area of your spine as high up as possible. It's like you're trying to push the ground away from you and lift your shoulders so that your upper back touches the ceiling. As you notice, my head is going down in between my hands and I'm pushing like crazy up. Now from here, after you've held this position for 30 to 60 seconds, you're going to do the opposite. Drop more into the lower back and now create that dip in your back. Hips are going up to the ceiling, your head is trying to go up as high as possible with your nose, and you're going to drive through with your hands and just let that spine stretch out, the lower back too. And what I generally do on these ones is I go 20 seconds at a time for each. So I do 20 seconds of the cow stretch. So this one is called the cow stretch. Don't ask me why I guess cow stretch that way. But this cat stretch, I can see it. I've seen a lot of cats do this. But I go 20 seconds of hold on this one. Then I come back to neutral gently. And then I go into the cow stretch for 20 seconds. Kill that one off again. And then go back into the cat stretch. So I try to go back and forward 20 seconds at a time, right? So nice and gently moving in between. I find that to be a much more effective stretch for this particular exercise over going 30 to 60 seconds on one, 30 to 60 seconds on the other one. So there we have it, guys. Just a couple of simple stretches to add on to the arsenal of what you know when it comes to stretching out your back, your biceps, and your rear delts. So again, very simple one, something that's a great idea to do after my pull exercise workout that I've shown you guys previously. Ideally, and in the perfect world, once you're done that workout, jump right into these stretches and do them up right after. Now, usually with the muscles, you know that delay onset muscle soreness, the DOMS, usually that's kind of like 48, maybe 72 hours after. So it's always a good idea to get into the habit of a daily stretch. So you can do these stretches even the day after you've done that workout and the day after that, okay? So take the push stretches with the pull stretches, combine them together, throw them in almost on a daily basis, get your body nice and limber. And I'm going to give you guys in a couple of videos the leg stretches as well, some different leg stretches and some more abdominal stretches. I'm going to try to build your arsenal as much as possible so you have something each and every day to do to limber out the body, to limber out the muscles, and just keep an overall good health. If you guys have any kind of questions whatsoever, please drop me a comment below this video. I'll answer them, like I mentioned in many previous videos, within 24 hours, and I'm more than happy to provide more explanation, even private videos if you guys require them, to give you more ideas and more guidance towards your particular needs and whatever the case may be. Thank you so much for watching this video. However, please like and subscribe to our channel. We post more and more workouts every single day. We try to get as many out there as possible to help as many people around the world as possible. It will really mean a lot to us, and it will help us, give us more motivation, more push and drive to post in more and more and more, and give you different plans and different workouts, and build your pretty much your library of workouts as much and as highly as possible. So thank you so much for people that have followed, have subscribed. We won't disappoint. We're going to keep on posting more and more and more. My name is Dragos, Strong Dragon Training, the flame of fitness. Catch you guys on my next video.